It's raining. And it's kind of chilly out here. So I have my coat, my fall coat, and I got my pumpkin latte. I just spilled a little bit on myself before I came out here because I had to re-warm it up. But this is still a good spot. I can't sit on the patio because it has like a lattice roof, so the water just goes right through. But there's a roof over my head right now, so this is a good dry spot, and I don't honestly mind sitting like this. I'm used to it. But I just wanted to. Oh, also, I got a new scrunchie. It's really cute. It's like a silky green. It's my favorite color, so I'm just living it up. I just went and hung out with my mom, so I'm in a good mood. I have a family party today. I'm just hanging out until then. I still need to figure out what I'm gonna wear, so I'm gonna do that after this. But I just wanted to honestly talk about something that just kind of has been like ringing in my ear, and something that has kind of caught my attention that I think is interesting. It's just about human experience. And of course I don't know, yesterday I was just scrolling on TikTok a lot, and I was scrolling and I found this thing that kind of resonated with me. It was about collective collective effervescence, and it's an emotional reaction that people can have to a public event like a parade, a party, some kind of like a concert, even church could be qualified as one of those things, in my opinion. And it's whenever you are in one of these settings and you get that feeling, that overwhelming feeling that you just want to cry, or you just want to like laugh and cry, and you feel all of these feelings in your chest at once. And I just think it's really interesting because when I first read that, I was like, well, that isn't exactly what I experienced. That's sort of it, but that's not exactly it. And so it kind of got me thinking, like, as I looked into it more, because what I often experience, what I have experienced for a long time, is experiencing a piece of media, like a movie or a TV show or a song, or like even like a piece of writing sometimes. That to me oftentimes gives me that same reaction as collective effervescence, where you feel what the artist or the actor or the character, whatever it is, you feel what they're feeling, but in your own way. And it like hits you in this like most realistic, stunning, unexpected point, because you're just enjoying this piece of media. You're just taking it in, you're watching, you're listening, and then all of a sudden it just hits you like a truck. It's like a trigger in a word, or there's just something so minute that creates this response in us that feels like we need to cry. And for the longest time, I kind of thought, well, damn, maybe there's something really wrong with me, because like, why am I crying at this right now? Like, why am I getting like this super strong urge to just burst out crying and even laugh about it in the moment? And it just feels like this big heavy weight just got placed on you. But at the same time, it feels like all of your weight got taken away. Like, what is that? It's just so crazy. I don't know. And I know that people don't ever really have an original experience, so it's just interesting to think about why it might affect me in certain scenarios and maybe why it might affect other people. Because I believe the video that I watched that was talking about that, she was at a parade. And I don't really go to parades or concerts very often, if like ever. But I can think of like collective moments in my past where I have had that reaction. I have definitely cried at a concert, just from feeling like this moment is so surreal that you can just let it all go. That's always really nice. It just makes you think about like what deep down inside of me responded to that. And sometimes we don't even really get to know. But it's the fact that our body is showing us anyways that maybe there's something there that we should look into, or maybe it's just a release of emotions. Because I read that it's like, it normally means that you're a very emotionally healthy and empathetic person. So it's not ever really anything to like worry about. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. And for the longest time, I did think that something was wrong with me because I would have reactions like that to like a song or a movie. And I would be like, why am I so into this right now? It's just because I feel really deeply, and I often place myself in those scenarios of those characters, and it's just an outward expression of deep empathy when it's in that type of scenario. So I'm not quite so sure if it's like collective effervescence or whatever you want to call it, but it definitely feels like it's a connection of some kind. Not necessarily that I'm feeling with a collective or that I'm feeling this like collective emotion from this large group of people, but it could just be, it oftentimes for me is like more of a personal experience and a connection that I have made personally with a character or a story or an emotional scene, something that resonates with me deeply. So, I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting to think about and to kind of meditate on like what other people might get emotional over, and we shouldn't judge them for that because there could be something deep down that they've never addressed or an emotion that they've never let out that could be triggered by that thing, and you should let them feel it. You should, because it's really all something that we need to go through. It's like connecting with the physical things in life that we're given to God when we cry, or when we cry and laugh, or when we feel that pinch of loneliness when we cry in those moments. Like, what is it trying to show you? And is it trying to bring you closer to something? Is it trying to help you see something about yourself? Or is it just a moment to pause and reflect? Or it could just be a moment where you're like, whoa, I don't know what came over me. Sorry, guys. I've had a lot of that. And so I just, I think it's beautiful. I think empathy is beautiful. Of course, if you express too much empathy everywhere, you can be taken advantage of. But I really like to look at it as like, the more you care, the more that there is to it, the more there is for you in the world too. Not attached to, but to uplift. To like adorn yourself with, you know. There's more pleasure in caring for others and for the world rather than worrying that if you care too much, then it might throw a wrench in your day, it might ruin your day. or, oh, it could ruin this relationship, or whatever it may be, if you care too much. You should always put forth your care, and you should always cradle it and try to understand it, because we care for a reason. It's just love trying to bring about some advice or a solution, or just to have you notice. Oh, I'm shaky because it's chilly out here. But I love the rain. We are a couple days out from Halloween. I just started a new job. Yeah, life's been chill. Life's been good. This is my favorite season. So I really am trying to soak it up as much as I can and just take time to reflect on things that I think about and things that stick with me, because they're sticking with me for a reason, and maybe they'll stick with someone else. When I used to go to therapy, I had a very confusing interaction with my therapist at one point, where I was talking about how much I care about other people in my life, and I definitely was caring too much at the time about what other people were doing and how it would affect them, instead of worrying about myself and how my actions would affect me. And my therapist on 2 occasions had said 2 conflicting statements that really confused me at the time, because I was really struggling and I needed like set guidance. I needed like to understand that empathy is not a weakness, and I was told that empathy is a superpower. And then another time I was told that it can be a weakness. And so for a long time I was mentally conflicted, because I didn't know whether to see my empathy, my deep care, as something that I should embrace or something that I should cower from and be ashamed of and worry about and feel like I have to change. I realize it's where you place your care and how much of it and with what intention, and for how long. Because you don't want to let it linger too much to the point where you feel powerless, like you can't do anything, or like it's just too much for you, because nothing's too much for you. You are divine. You can handle anything that you set your mind to. You are all of this. This is you. So like, you're here, babe. You can handle it. It's going to be okay. But there have always been times where I felt like my emotions were too big to handle. And I'm still here. I'm proud of myself for being here and for allowing myself to feel all of my feelings, even the really tough ones that I didn't think I could ever really come back from. It's important to address those feelings and to understand that if something hits you like a truck and you just want to cry or whatever, so nothing's wrong with you. You are human, and we are physically trained to ignore things that aren't right in front of us, like all the things that are up here. We're just trained to ignore it. Or we're trained to go to therapy or whatever to deal with it. But like I said, you can deal with anything. You know you better than anybody. And if you don't think that's true, then maybe it's time to start. And be your own best friend and understand that your empathy is a superpower. And you should never feel bad for having a reaction that you didn't expect. Because your mind, your heart, your body, they're all separate, but they're connected. And so in order to understand yourself, you have to try to see where that's coming from so that you can align them all together. And then you can be the the word I just keep thinking of is aligned, but it's more like collected. Yeah. Yeah, kind of a ramble, but I just wanted to come talk about, I don't know, something deep and emotional and heartfelt, because I'm feeling like talkative today, and I've just been hanging out. I hung out with my mom. I talked to her a little bit, so that's probably what started this, but I love you guys. Thank you for being here with me and listening to what I have to say. I will put words into my music. I have already, but I will continue to do that because it is a way that I have found that really helps me to feel like I've gotten what's in here somewhere else, so it doesn't belong to me anymore. It's not so heavy, or whatever it may be. Don't hold it all in. It gets heavy. So talk to someone, talk to me, talk to your mom, talk to a family member, a friend, or just talk to God. Talk to yourself. Anything works, anything helps, as long as you let it. Yeah, I like popping in when I can and having my coffee and chatting with my friends. So I hope you guys have a lovely day. Enjoy this weather, this rainy weather or sunny, wherever you are. And just take it one day at a time. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Ugh.